Hello, this is Heath. I'm sure you've watched my overview about Team Alpha and what we're doing with the bulletproof matrix. And I'm gonna kind of show you how to maximize this pay plan and that way that you know how to do it. And I'm gonna go over some strategies that some of our leaders are already doing to essentially ensure that their matrices get filled and ensure that their new people are getting a fast start because it's really important that your new people succeed because the pay scale it's $60 a month to keep it, but as long as your new person gets two deals in their first 30 days, they're not paying that second month. And ultimately, at $20 per referral, they really only need three personal deals overall, and their residuals have outweighed their monthly. And so at this point they're locked into the matrix. They can't cancel. This thing's not connected to your card. So once and what I mean by that, if you didn't get more than $60 earned in your first month, you would get charged $60 the second month. But as long as you get two deals at this $40 a deal, then you're going to have 80 in the account, and it's essentially just going to take that money out of the 80 so that bill is not due. And so, like I said, they could have three direct referrals ongoing, and these direct referrals, these 20s, these tens, these dollars that come in here, these are going to be paid in the second month. So your first month, you're literally just getting the 40s, the fast start bonuses, and those are paid daily, as mentioned. But then the second month, obviously you're still selling, so you're still able to get these, but you're getting these $20 and $10 for your second level that starts hitting. So essentially your first level is worth 20, that's your personal signups, and anybody that your personal signups sign up is your second level. So it's really kind of a two level, very simple sales model. A lot of people do this. And then a lot of the part that people don't understand is this matrix right here. And so in this video, I'm going to, other than showing different ways you can ensure that your teammates succeed, I'm going to show you how to understand this matrix because it's very important to understand this and how the pay scale works. So what it means by levels 1 through 11 is if you don't refer anyone, or say you refer less than three, you can only unlock 11 levels of the matrix, which is $4,094. So even if you didn't refer anyone, for instance, or you've signed up a business, they didn't know the pay scale existed, what they would notice is little dollars being credited in their account. And then one day they just wouldn't have a bill. And they'd probably start thinking about that after a while. And they'd look in there and realize there's actually money in there they can withdraw, but we'll only allow people to make a little over 4 grand, unless they refer three. Now, this is what makes it $8,190. And I'm sure you probably already played with a little slider and seen this at this point. But if not, I'm going to kind of recap it in hopes that, because it's very important that you understand it, especially these 10% check matches. This is definitely the most powerful part of the pay scale. And a lot of people can't see past the 40s. They can see past, month one, but most people they can understand, okay, I get 20, okay, I get 10, and then they can kind of see this. But a lot of people, they're just like, man, that's just like a little bit. What is that? This is the best part. So, um, and this is how it pays so much. So like this is just an example here. This slider here, you can see it. This thing, if you go all the way up, and this is what I looked at the first time I bought this. I'm like, how is this possible? How could you? It's only a $60 system. How could you make that much money off so few deals? That's only like 20, and this technically would be like 400 people on your second level, and you would make all this money. So this math actually adds up, and I'm gonna show you. And if you look at it, where the money's coming from, you'll notice that almost a massive, massive portion of this is in your second level. And so I'm going to show you how to take advantage of that and explain it to the best of my ability. So um, let's go back down to the smaller example for the sake of numbers. And you can see the little 20s and the $10 residuals you get, it's really pennies. The matrix with three, like I said, it's 8,190. And if you only get two, then you can see how drastically it goes down. And that's because you only get 11 levels and this one's locked. And so it's specifically designed toward people who build it. And as you can see by the way, the second level, but even more particularly, benefits the people who make sure that their first level succeed. So how to understand the 10%. All right, well, it's 10% of your matrix bonus on levels 1 through 11, yeah. So um so $819 is 10% of 8,190, and those little 10 cents also start to pop up in the second month with your 10s and your 20s. So all of that in the dollars, they're all paid in real time. So you don't have to wait until it gets so full, but if you're looking forward, the way I look at this is each person on the first and second level that's under you inevitably will be worth $819 a month because that's 10% once their matrix is full. And there's things you can do inside of your matrix. Now, I will pull up the matrix in a minute and kind of go over how you can ensure it fills. But, so 3 times 819 is this number. And this example is essentially 9 people on your second level. And that's, 9 times 819, of course. And so you can see that this is weighted, but you can double these numbers if you set up your account properly. And so you can see it's important that not only that you get deals, but it's actually important that your people get deals. But it's actually even important that those people on the second level get deals because signing up people in this, it really doesn't help you. I mean, it kind of does. You get 40 bucks, but that's really nothing. And a lot of times when you're training people and dealing with people, that can even be a waste of money because time is money. And if you're investing time into people, you do want them to succeed. So I'm going to go over some different ways that you can help your team succeed. Now, ultimately, if somebody won't work, there's only so much you can do. I mean, if you could write deals in their name, I don't recommend doing that. But there is strategies out there that you could literally do that. So, and you could make a lot of money doing that. But I do not recommend this at this point at least. So you can see I opened up this main account and it's been just about a month now. It's literally been about a month. And we've got 98 people here, and I've went over this in the overview. But this account Ryan C right here, he don't know the account exists, but what's happening? He's being force filled down. So that's how I set it up. Is I put my wife and Ryan C right here. That way, initially, my initial thinking at first was, okay, cool. Everything I sell will force fill them. And I'll just come back later and get 3 in their account each to make sure they can get the 12th level and they can get those check matches. And so I understood that. And as mentioned, I was considering just buying up all these, but I was thinking about, what's the best way to do it. And what I ended up doing was I bought this account from this one. As you can see, it says it was referred by Heath. So this account was 60, but I got 40 back. So really, this account only cost me $20. And I did buy that with the intention of opening this one off of this one, just to get an extra one. So why did I do that? Well, one reason is instead of getting the $20 for my referrals, I get 30 because I'm paid simultaneously here. And also this is like I'm getting a dollar in real time. Those levels, the 8,190 people, they paid a dollar a person. And it just kind of, the way the matrix works out, it just kind of works out to $12 of the 60 of the pay scale is dedicated into this. So while we all have individual matrices, like if I click on this one here, I can see this is Jennifer's matrix. It looks like mine, but she just can't see the people above her. So instead of getting 20, I'm getting 30, but really it's 31 and 32. But really, simultaneously, I'm filling up this account and this account. So when these bottom accounts sell, it automatically fill these. And anybody that falls under this account will automatically fill this one, obviously. So anybody that falls under here, anywhere, automatically fills this one, automatically fills this one. Well, then what happens if you have good people above you who are essentially selling a lot? they have to force fill your matrix to fill theirs. So that's a benefit of being on our team is especially me personally. I'm going to make sure all of these get force filled all the way down, and I'm going to come back and explain more of like my lines of thinking here in a second. So. But the powerful thing is that 10% check match. So let's say I signed up 120 people in this account. That adds up to 98 grand a month, a little better in check matches alone. And so if I just have one account, that would be great, obviously, up to 98 grand a month. But you get the check match on your first and second level. And this is very, very crucial if you're wanting to maximize this pay plan that you understand this concept. Now, you only need one account to get started. But at some point, it does definitely make sense to get at least one more account. And me personally, I've got a bunch of them. You can see I've got all these. I've got these two. And I've actually bought the two under this because I made this my main selling account. That way, as I'm selling, all of course, I get the 20 and the 10s. But more importantly, and also these are matrices are filling. So when I get these full, these are all worth the 8,190 bucks as well. But also, I get the double 10% check match. So on my personals on this account, I technically get a 20% check match. So if I signed 120 here, I'd obviously get the 98 grand. But you get it on the second level. So say you recruit somebody that's a big fish like this, like think this is the only account this one never got. Maybe I even just signed up myself twice or put two deals in it. Well, what ends up happening is these 120 at 819 are also paid to this one because it's its second level. And so by doing it this way, you're um you're doubling your income. You're literally doubling your income when you do it this way. And in my case, I'm actually force filling these accounts up here. I'm actually helping to fill these accounts. So I actually every sale that I'm making, I'm getting these extra dollars as well. So I'm really over doubling my income here. And like I said, now went ahead and put my wife directly under my main selling account. And I'm glad I did. This thing's already got 66 man team. And this one right here has only been open a couple of weeks, few weeks maybe. But now I'm force filling her account. So these are now getting force filled, even though she's not doing anything. Um, and other people have copied me, and many people will. And as mainstream starts to see this go viral, big money will come in, and they'll basically start copying me. Even if they don't intend to sell, they'll realize that this thing's just going viral and filling so quickly that they can just hold a spot and make a little over 4 grand a month, and people will start buying these as like investment type accounts. And they'll do stuff like you see this person here, Kimmy. And she was similar to me. She started out with one, and then after she started thinking about what I'm talking about, she was like, "Well, while I'm doing this, I might as well get my daughter and my dad in here, and that way she'll force fill them." And you can just go down and see how Kimmy's building her agency here. This is one of her legs, her daughter, and even she got one force filled by me. Gummer's mine, and Gummer's got people that are coming in too. And he just essentially just got started, but either way, she got force filled one here, and so. And I'm not sure if she's signing these up for her daughter. I haven't actually talked to her about it, but this Lexi Woo account has already got its three. So Lexi Woo is set to get all 12 levels and the check matches immediately. And so this is how she's building her account. And I'll kind of talk about her strategy here in a minute. I'm going to talk strategy here in a minute as far as building an agency. But right now, I'm just going to talk about like maximizing the matrix and why? So you start thinking, okay, there only 8,190 people can fit in a matrix, and it can only go down 12 levels. So at some point, if you think like me, it kind of almost seems redundant to just, say this matrix was completely full right here. Like why would I just keep selling out of that account when I could just open up another one down the line somewhere and start a brand new matrix and start force filling it again? And I'm not the only one who thinks like this. Leverage got three, the owners got two. A lot of these people that are coming in down here are going to do the same exact thing. Residual King, this guy's killing it. This guy literally just started like 5 days ago, and you can see he's got one, two, three, four, five, but this leg keeps going. So he's actually got even more down here, and a lot of these are Moon Megas, and down here's actually some of my other accounts. I'll show those in a minute. But Residual King is tearing it up, and you can see all of his accounts here. Let's see, he's got one. Let me click on Linda View's leg and see if I can count these. Linda was one of his. Two, three, four, five, six. But he also had some that landed over here. Seven, eight. So he's got eight in less than that many days, maybe five. I can actually go to his genealogy and I could show you the exact dates. I'm not going to do that right now. Moon Mega has also got started and he's tearing it up. And now these guys, and he's got all these deals in like 3 days. But now these guys are starting to think, and they already kind of planned on buying extra accounts at the first when it, anyways. But I kind of recommend to people, unless you're like super confident, like I was, that you just kind of start with one, and once you get that account in the profit residually, and you see that it's taking off and it's working for you. I mean, you can see that's obviously working for us, but when you see it working for yourself, it kind of hits home. And then you're like, okay, it only makes sense to get a second account, at least one more. That way I get 30 residually off my personals instead of 20. And that way I get an extra dollar and two accounts that'll force fill down to 8,190. And that way all of the sales in that second account that I bought off my first one, I'll get a double check match off of it. And so that's really the only thing that makes sense. And so, like I was saying, once it starts going down so far, you start thinking, well, I might as well open up some more accounts down there. That way, because I'm down 12 levels right here. Nearly. This is my 10th level. And so what I did was I seen this gentleman right here, Moon Meg, I seen him taking off. And he just started getting a bunch of deals. And so one good strategy in this. And you can view this matrix in real time anytime. I mean, I'm live all day on Zoom as I explain in the overview. You can literally come in and ask me, "Hey Heath, I'm kind of curious to see the matrix. I might want to buy an extra spot." Because the only way to get on our team is to essentially sign up through the person who invited you. But once you got the account, you can buy accounts from other teams. Some of our teams have different perks to work with. Then the Israel agency, she's got certain perks, and brother Darren Delaney, he's got certain perks. And everybody's got these different perks. Well, and I'll talk about some of these perks and different kind of perks you can add for your specific agency that'll help. But right now, I'm just kind of, I've seen this thing going down, and I've noticed that this gentleman right here is just absolutely crushing. I can see he's going to get hundreds of deals. So I decided to just open an account right here, right under him. And also, I just happen to know this person is also a very, very big time person in this industry. And I know that if I just simply hold the account here, I don't even have to sell. These guys literally have to force fill me now to fill themselves. And then for good measure, I did go ahead and add a second account. That way I got two of them. And well, somebody else decided to do the same thing off of me here. But really, this is kind of like a new primary selling account that's over 12 levels down from my main matrix. So I'm going to be selling some out of this. I'll probably, strategically, because a lot of my accounts up top, they still need three in them, like my wife's accounts and one of my other accounts. And I'll probably go ahead and put three in Ryan C's account. That way, by the time he gets it, it's going to be worth a ton of money. And it'll be a really, really good birthday present. But I can essentially just leave these things sitting here, and they're forced to fill. And I even thought about, and you can do your agency however you want to. I even thought about putting a few in here real quick, like my personal people. That way, not only am I getting force filled, but they kind of got to force fill them as well, and it kind of puts them on a good team. So. But anyways, let's go back up top here and let me show you one other thing. And so I'm making this video as detailed as possible because I know a lot of y'all are interested in this. It's actually very fascinating. It's really cool watching this thing grow live. I mean, yesterday it was at 89 and now it's at 98, and you kind of just look and see where they go. But you can see when you look at these, and if there's a little red dot, that's not good. You don't want a red dot. A red dot means that you've clicked a button and it's really, you really can't do it by accident. You essentially have to pull your card out of there. And we haven't had essentially really any turnover. Anybody that's been working the system has pretty much got deals, or at least they're staying around. We have had a few people who, and this, I don't want to say anything because her name's on here, but we have had people that basically just didn't even try. For whatever reason, they didn't get until their first day, literally. And they're like, oh man, blah, blah, blah. And when I've talked to some of these people and they didn't understand the pay scale like I'm explaining it now. They just didn't understand the pay scale one. But anyways, long story short, if what happens if like say this account went inactive right here, then what would happen is this person would just be forced up to here and this one would move over. Everything just kind of rotates up. When you don't, so see, with the auto ship the way it is, you can't get zapped out on accident. Once you build up your residuals over 60, you're locked in. It's not like you lose your card and you're out or something. You're just in there for life. I mean, really, the only thing you can do is like not log into it and look at it, but your spot in the matrix will remain. But now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, so from the perspective of this top account, the I want to fill all these holes here. So I start looking, and you're looking at your top levels. You want to get these full, but if you see like a leg struggling or something, and some of these people just started. BP Malone's got his first deal. And this one right here, if this one goes inactive, this will just be zapped, and this will be a hole like these. And so the only way I can get the full 8,190 from this perspective is to force fill everything. And this is why it's an advantage to be over somebody good. It's because they, especially if they see like watch this video right here, they're going to understand what I'm saying. And so I essentially need to get someone here, and then I need to start working this down, and I'll do that. I'll essentially, like I said, I'll sell three out of this one. This one needs two more, so I'll definitely sell out of this one. And what you do is if you see a leg struggling, you can kind of just open yourself up another little organization over there and just kind of help it take off. Or I could, because this fills from the top to the bottom and the left to the right. So if I made a sell out of this account right now, the only place it could go is right here, and then the next one would go over here. Well, then I could keep selling out of this one, and then it would automatically start force filling the weaker legs. The ones that have taken off are the last ones to get filled because they're further down, it's top to bottom and left to right. So what I'm looking at now, at first you're just trying to get deals, and then you start kind of seeing where the cards fall, and you're just kind of wondering what you want to do. You realize that you need to fill these things up to get all the way to 8,190. So, if I wrote three in this one, that would give me this one, and then another one would fall somewhere probably down here would be the next spot. And when I get two more in this one, it would go. And maybe those people are really good and they just take off and I don't have to do nothing else. So you kind of just, if you're at the position where I'm at, and you can come back and save this video, watch it anytime. But once you get it built up, you're going to be kind of looking at it like I am. And so you kind of just want to see if this will take off and see how these people do. And then you come over here and focus on this section. So probably come over here and start putting deals in my wife's name. And that's cool because these accounts are stacked together too. So anything she does, any deals that she gets in this account, I'm getting paid off of that. Plus, I'm getting the double check match. So um, that's essentially going to be, that's like kind of where I'm at right now. I'm about to put deals in this account, this one. I'm going to go ahead and stick deals in these. And then those accounts down there under those superstars that just joined. I may throw a few in there. But I'm not greedy. I'm not trying to get like 50 deals this month. I've been giving away my ads to y'all this whole time. I could already have like 40 or 50 deals had I not given away so many of my ads. But So that's kind of how you want to look at it though. And that's really the only way to look at it. You can kind of see, say this leg right here took off and it's gone. And this one's struggling. And, I could keep force filling here, but strategically at any time, I could buy another account down here, set up another little organization and just kind of help that leg take off, if I needed to. And eventually I will do that. I'll make sure this whole thing fills out completely. Um, so that's kind of my strategy about how to manipulate the matrix in the best way. And you can even ask ChatGPT, what's the best way to set up a 2 by 12 force matrix? And it might have some more insight. I've considered maybe opening a organization, taking all the top 7 spots. And at some point, does it come redundant? I mean, right now, y'all guys are just getting started. This is new, so y'all probably are not even considering this. But I even thought, because I think big picture. I was thinking, I wonder at like what point is redundant? Can you start with like the top 15, and just but that's why somebody recommended maybe ask ChatGPT. I haven't done it yet. But right now I do like this little strategy here where you just basically stack 2 accounts and then take the first kind of like a 4 account setup. And Darren Leverage down there, he liked the 3 account setup, so did Kimmy. And those are also very good setups because if you sell out of these, once you get the top one three, you can just sell out of these. And then kind of the same thing happens. You can kind of manipulate if one leg's going slower than the other one. You can kind of start selling out of this one. And if this one's slowed down, you could sell out of this one. So this is actually a good way to open it because you do still get uh, the double every time you make the sales out. These are kind of like 2 primary accounts. This is actually a good way to set it up as well. And I chose to go this route. But yeah, you can do it however you want. So let's talk about like team building here. And let's talk about like making sure that your team succeeds and like what are some of the things you can do? Because we have different team members that offer different things. The people that I'm seeing doing the best are kind of copying what I did from the beginning, which is leveraging the $40. And so how you leverage the 40 is essentially you just realize that on all your personals you're getting $40. And if you're thinking big picture, one, you're thinking you want to grow this thing as quick as possible. And two, most importantly, you want your new people to succeed. So what you can do is you can essentially, and this actually makes it a lot easier to sign people up, is you're like, hey, I tell you what, when you buy in, I'll post a Craigslist ad for you. Uh, and what that does several things for you. One, it incentivizes them to do it because they're like, okay, he'll post an ad for me. That's one thing it does. Two, they start getting a bunch of text right off the bat, and that gets them working. And a lot of times, what happens when they get a bunch of text with this, and as long as they're following the system, they get deals, is what happens. And so that helps you in a bunch of different ways. That helps you, one, if your person doesn't do anything, and they're only in it for the opportunity, they're not in it for the tool suite that they want to use, if they're literally just doing it there and they don't get no deals at all, then there's a decent chance they might cancel. And then you don't get the residual income. So it definitely benefits you a lot to try to help your new people out to get these deals. And that's kind of how I made this thing explode the way it has so far. Is by offering people that exact same thing. If you sign up with my link, I'll use the $40 to buy an ad. And that's exactly how we got all these deals. Um, so you can leverage that 40 in any way that you could imagine. There's all kind of ways to leverage your agency and maybe you know what go high level is. It costs $100 even to get their lowest account, but to get all the AI stuff with go high level is $497. So at some point in the near future, I'm gonna get that master go high level account. Almost guaranteed that I plan on doing that. And then what I'll be able to do is, hey, if you join Team Alpha, you get a free sub account because you with that Go High Level account, you get unlimited free sub accounts. So that's an example of something you could do to sweeten up the deal. If you join my agency, I have this thing pre-built to do this. If you join my agency, I actually have a bunch of opted in opportunity leads, and I'll give you 20 when you start. There's all kind of things that you could be creative and do, but you can offer people essentially incentives to get them to sign up. But the most important thing is incentives that are going to make them successful. And so, other than locking in their residuals, also if you have a bunch of successful people on your team, it kind of breeds success among your teammates. Your teammates see the other one's doing good, and there's a lot of effects that happen because of that. Now, you also, what it does, it kind of creates a culture. When you do that for someone, they see firsthand that this worked well because you did this, it helped them get the deals. They'll be more likely to copy that. And what it does, you don't want just like your first level to get deals. You want their people to get deals. You want this thing to keep going. You essentially, and some people here and there, you'll lose one or two. I mean, it's not for everyone. Some people they'll get a message that somebody said something crazy. I mean, if you're talking about 100 grand a month per recruit. I mean, you got to add on Craigslist. Somebody's going to say something crazy eventually. Don't let this discourage you. This could be a 10-year-old kid or something like that. And even if not, it's just not worth being discouraged. But long story short, you want to ensure that your team continues growing. And so what I did when I first started, and I'm still doing, as y'all can see in the overview, my calendar is packed out. And what I did was basically tell people they could just schedule people to my calendar and I would close their sales. And I'm still doing that to this day for all of y'all. The only difference now is somebody has to at least watch a video or they come to our meeting first or they've at least generally had an idea just because. I've had at this point like 150 people book on my calendar in like about the last 2 days. So once you start getting a bunch of people, like say you copy my strategy with Calendly, it's fire. At some point, you've got so many people booking, you want to tighten it up. So at first, I was just doing 15-minute Calendly meetings. At first, it was just me doing them for myself, obviously, and it was a lot harder like that. But then I started getting some of these people, Kalani and Vanessa, and Jennifer and all them. And they started booking people to my calendar, and it's actually easier to close. Not that it's necessarily like a close. I mean, you're basically just helping people out, but it's easier to get people in if there's two of you than one. And that's kind of the idea of my calendar being available to all of y'all. Not only can you send people there and basically have a third party partner that's already familiar with the lingo to help you, but also um, um, it makes it easier for you to get sales. You can also book there for training. So if you're wanting to talk about this matrix, you're wanting to look at it, you're like wanting to manipulate it or talk about agency building, you can book on my Calendly still. And so what that does, it gives me a lot of credibility. And our thing is just so credible. People know it's legit. I mean, you really can't fake it. I'm live on Calendly all day long. I'm live on Zoom all day long. You can come to my nightly meetings. You can meet our team. You've got my phone number. Like it's easy access and it offers full training for y'all. Well, it's kind of a similar thing inside of your own organization there. If you've got a Calendly available for your teammates to book, they're going to be more likely to want to sign up in your agency because they can see that they've got somebody whose calendar is open they can book with if they have questions and need help. Well, you can just have people schedule people straight to your Calendly online, and you don't have to really sell these people, y'all. Especially at this point, like our videos are pretty much selling people. By the time they get to my Calendlys now, and I'll make another recording soon and show y'all exactly how I'm doing that. That way you have training for that. But by the time they get there, they're already sold. I'm basically just like, hey, did you see the video? Yes, you did. Oh, that's amazing. I'm sure you're excited. How can I serve you? How can I help you? And so that's literally how it goes. It's like they're already sold. if they're coming to you after a video. But even if you do it the other way, it's good. And so there's really no bad way to do it. The thing is, it's just building up your self credibility and remaining active. So knowing that my Calendly is, uh, I mean, honestly, the bigger this thing gets, the it's gonna. Oh, I mean, at one point it's gonna be impossible for me to do this for all y'all. But right now, I have plenty of spots open, and there's plenty of chance. Really a good time because you can get my one-on-one help anytime. But I do plan on remaining live like this. But I don't know, man. If there's 10,000 people in a month, obviously there's no physical way that I could do that. So the intention of doing this Calendly system from the beginning for me was to teach duplication. And because I can't do it all, but if you can see me doing it and you can learn it, well, then you can start doing it for your team. And then you also won't want to do it forever. So what the go viral without going viral online strategy is to teach your people to teach people to teach people to do the same thing that you're doing. So it becomes like a culture in itself. You're doing the Calendly system. You're like, it's easy. It's really actually super easy. I mean, this is not a hard sell at all. You pretty much aren't even trying. You're just letting people know that you're willing to help. But you do the Calendlies for your people, and then you let them know, hey, I'm doing this to train you to be able to do the same thing. I'm going to help you get your first few sales. Uh, you know, if they still need help right now, you can still send them right up to me. You know what I mean? You can send them to our Zooms. They can come talk to me. Anybody's get my phone number. It's 404-354-8286. Y'all guys can call me anytime if you have questions or send me a text. Um, but that is another very good agency building strategy is essentially you're training people that can train people to training people. So you're not just training people to sell, you're training people to train people. But really, if you think it on a more high level, you're training people to train people that can train others. And so if you just hit three times, it makes perfect sense. But the pay scale's so high here. I mean, by the time you get that far, I mean, it's gone by then. But that's what you do, and it'll just keep going. And like I said, that culture builds up, and so you can leverage the 40. You can make yourself available if you are, and some of y'all are not. Some of y'all just are trying to set this up on autopilot. You can do it in 5 hours a week and or less even. We got people that have figured out how to do it in less. And some of those people down there that you've seen at the bottom that are getting tons of deals, they figured out how to do it with less. They're getting those deals on autopilot through all kind of different ways. Um, but yeah. So I think I think that's was pretty thorough for this. But that's the most important thing. It's making sure your people succeed. Because like I said, if you get three people that get 40 each, well, that's still 120 people on your second level. And think about how much less work that is than you having to personally, sign up 120 yourself. It's actually much easier. You can actually make a living just dumping ads on people. At first you're just trying to make a little bit of money and get the profit. But once you hit month two, you're making some pretty good money, and you've actually got more money. If you wanted to, you could keep putting them on your people, your best ones at least, the ones that are really good, and they can since they're on your first level, that's the people you want to focus on as far as money's concerned. You obviously want everybody on your team to succeed, but as far as money's concerned, your first level is the most important because all of their sales, you get that 10% check match. So, with that being said, it don't take a whole lot of money in ads to get these things to blow up. So you can literally, it's just so much easier if you got people doing all the work for you. You could run ads and never even really have to sell once you get a team full of good people. And so that's a good way to look at it. And that also starts to and that's more a little more advanced. That's a little down the road for a lot of y'all and even myself. But once you start thinking 3, 4 months down the road, you'll start. Imagine if you had 20 grand in your hand to throw at this thing. You could really set this thing on fire as fast as you wanted it to. Really wouldn't matter. It would be all about getting those people in your first and second level and building up those $819 a month residuals. So I hope this video was enlightening to y'all, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions about it, give me a call, shoot me a text. I just gave you my number. If you don't know how to get a hold of me, someone sent you to this web page or this video somehow. They've got my contact info. Feel free to get my email or my Calendly from them. And again, my number's 404 354 8286. And God bless y'all. I pray this thing just blows up on y'all in Jesus' name. I pray it's just amazing. It's fruitful. I pray you stay motivated and don't get discouraged. I will see y'all on the next video.